Alrighty then. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 355. Oh, I think I turned on the light. There we go. There's Stanley. He's sleeping. An introduction. This is probably the greatest source of friction that keeps authors and introverts at home. When you're in a public place, and somebody asks you, what do you do? Because instantly, you see that power perspective. They're judging you. What do you do? Because they think that if you're at their level, they would already know who you are. But they don't. So, what is your name? What do you do? My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepared to die. How can you beat that? Because there it is. Make that personal connection, give a way forward, and everything's nice and clear. So, as a person sizing you up to determine your value in their mind, don't let this get you down. Everybody determines everybody else's value, usually by their judgment of the cake machine in Vegas. But don't let it get you down, and don't you do it to other people, because that's it creates a level of envy or where you're sympathetic towards somebody. Don't do it. Let people stand on their own. So don't ask that question. What do you do? I like the question, are you happy? Are you happy with your life? What are you doing with your life? Because then it gives a person more chance to open up. But that's not how life works. People will ask you, what do you do? So you tell them you're CEO of your own publishing company. Okay, that's kind of lofty, but then they may dig in. Well, what's your annual revenue? What is, how many books do you publish? How many people do you have? Well, it's just me. Okay, it sounds kind of weird at that point. So, me, what do I say? My name's Craig Martelle and I write books. I'm an old retired guy, so I don't need to justify myself to anybody. And, the important thing that you can do at this point is you turn it around. I write books. Tell me, what's the last book you read? And turn it back on them. Because now you've leveled the playing field. It's you. It's about you and books. And now, hey, maybe they haven't read a book in a year or two. Then the easy answer is, you're not my target audience then. My target audience reads a book a week, a book a month, something like that. And then now it's, hey, this person's a professional. They do this for a living. They're thinking about market, target audience. Well, what do you write? That's great. Now you can have a real conversation once they follow up, as opposed to, what do you do? Oh, you write books. Your little books. How are those do? Look for the pedantic and demeaning approach to who they think you are. Once again, it goes back to judgment and status between individuals. Turn it around. And ask another good question is, what do you think the power of a good story is? Ask somebody, a random person who just asked you what you do. Hey, this is what I do. I talk about the power of a good story. I create the power of a good story to deliver to people who are willing to pay me for that. And that's like any entertainer, whether you like Steven Spielberg or Lucas or any of those people, because of course you love sci-fi in front of everything else. And on a cold and blustery day, maybe you'll go to the Hallmark Channel, but keep in mind, sci-fi first, and then other stuff. So what is the power of a good story as a good question? Because it makes them think, what the hell? Power of a good story? I'm just talking about business here. Yeah, that's right. A good story sells. And you're not my target audience if you're not reading books. So let's put those two things together. And that's where I spend the majority of my time. So that's maybe why you don't know me. And if you want to be a wiener, you could ask, what's the last book you read? Most people won't know. Most people won't remember, because most people don't read. However, we target to those people who do read. And that's why ads, promotions, people who are looking for books, people who are looking for stories, looking to be entertained, that's who we want to talk to. But you don't get that opportunity. You're outside. You're in a public area. What do? I write books. What do you think the power of a good story is? And turn it around. Be comfortable with who you are. Be comfortable with what you're doing. Don't fall into the trap of judging others. Well, he just works at 7-Eleven. So what? I love 7-Eleven for certain things. Don't get the burritos there. Somebody working, never ever give him a hard time, because we might write for a year and not ever publish, not ever make a penny. and you're still a writer. You're still an author, because you will get that book done. You will get it out there, and somebody's going to read it. Somebody, a stranger, is going to pay you for those words, and then that makes you a professional author. So maybe that's your answer. I'm a professional author. I work for a living, try to earn my keep. Peace, fellow humans.